Alright, gents, what's going on? Today we're going to be speaking about actually achieving your goals and how you actually achieve your goals, because we all have goals. I have goals, you have goals, successful people have goals, and unsuccessful people have goals. But we need to speak about what the difference is between the successful and the people who are just not as successful. They talk a big talk, but they don't actually ever achieve anything that they set out to do, okay? Whether that's career-wise, education, physique, whatever it might be, everyone has goals, okay? So obviously, you know, we'll use fitness as an example. If you have a goal to reduce or get your abs out, for instance, you've a goal, you want to get a six-pack, but you've been saying that for fucking years and years and years and years and years. And this is where I was. I remember when I was younger, I was like, I always wanted abs. That was my goal. But my daily actions didn't align with that. So I'd say I wanted abs. That was the thing that I wanted. That's why I was training. But then I'd always like end up kind of like self-sabotaging nearly towards the back end of the day. Okay, so I'd be eating really well, and then towards the end I'd be like, fuck it, and just self-sabotage. And a lot of that is kind of down to, and I heard something that I thought was pretty what's the word? I don't even know what the word is, but I heard basically Andy Elliott, who I'm sure some of you may or may not know, but he says the only reason you self-sabotage is because you don't like who you are, which is pretty nuts. So if you don't like who you are, you keep self-sabotaging. So if you have a goal to achieve abs, but you keep self-sabotaging, it's kind of because you don't actually feel worthy of it and you don't actually like the person you are. Okay, and you need to break through that. How do you end up liking the person you are? When you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, you know what? You've done what you said you were going to do. That's how you start liking yourself. How you don't like yourself is because if you keep setting goals and you just keep letting yourself down. Think about it. If you had a friend that always promised you this, promised you that, but kept letting you down, you get sick of that person fairly quickly. So that's what happens with yourself. Whether it's consciously or unconscious, you end up kind of not liking yourself because you keep letting yourself down. So you need to set your goals, but then your daily actions need to align with that. So if your goal is to get your abs out, you need to stick to your calorie deficit. You need to make sure that you're getting enough steps. You need to make sure that you're sleeping enough, that you're eating the right nutrients. Then once you do that on a daily basis, you win the day, you keep winning the days become the weeks, the months, and then you look back and you're like, holy fuck, okay, now I actually have visible abs, and now you love who you are because you've stuck to what you said you were going to stick to. I'm highly caffeinated right now. I'm probably going to watch this back, and I don't even know if it makes sense. But the point that I want to get across is, you don't like yourself, so you keep self-sabotaging your goals that you set yourself. You need to break past that and just focus on winning the day, okay? So you win the day, keep stacking up the daily wins. Before you know it, it becomes a habit. You're that person. That's your new identity. You eat well. You go to sleep on time. You train. You look after your health. You prioritize your health. And then, before you know it, you achieve that goal you set of actually having abs. And then you build confidence. You build more self-belief. And you end up fucking loving who you are. And then you're unstoppable. Peace and love, gents.